The Chicago Bears defense has been one of the team's strongest assets this season, but the secondary suddenly faces a major test. Quarterback Asante Samuel Jr., who has been a consistent presence on the field, is dealing with an injury that could keep him sidelined. That immediately raised a big question inside Halas Hall: who steps up next? The Bears staff didn't waste time exploring their options. Two big names quickly came to the surface: Stephon Gilmore and James Bradberry. Both are seasoned veterans, both former Pro Bowlers, and both bring something the Bears could use right now: leadership and experience under pressure. Gilmore, now in the later stages of his career, still carries the reputation of a technician in coverage. His ability to read quarterbacks and close throwing lanes could give the Bears' young corners some much-needed mentorship. He's not as quick as he once was, but his football IQ is elite. The Bears' coaching staff reportedly loves that. Then there's Bradberry. Known for his length, press coverage skills, and toughness at the line of scrimmage, Bradberry could fit nicely into the Bears' defensive system. He's physical, he tackles well, and he's seen every route combination in the book. For a team that values versatility and zone awareness, Bradberry checks a lot of boxes. The conversation inside the building now seems to revolve around one critical point: short-term help versus long-term development. The Bears have young players they believe in, but with playoff hopes still alive, they can't afford costly mistakes in the secondary. A veteran could stabilize things quickly, but at what cost? Gilmore would likely come cheaper and offer more flexibility in coverage schemes, while Bradberry might bring a stronger physical presence but could demand more money. Either way, it's clear the Bears are actively evaluating both. For fans, this situation feels like a familiar Bears storyline: injuries forcing creative solutions. But this year, the difference is urgency. This isn't a team rebuilding anymore. It's a team trying to climb. Every decision now carries playoff consequences. If the Bears do land one of these veterans, it could quietly become one of the most important midseason adjustments of the year. And if they don't, the spotlight falls directly on the young corners, and that's a lot of pressure under the bright lights of Soldier Field. While the front office evaluates the secondary, the Bears have been busy shuffling their depth chart elsewhere. This week, 3 new signings hit the wire: tight end Stephen Carlson, defensive end Carl Jones Jr., and punter Colton Spangler. Carlson, the former Browns tight end, brings size and blocking ability, something the Bears' offensive staff loves when setting up heavy formations. He's not expected to steal snaps from Cole Kmet, but he adds reliability when the offense wants to control tempo and dominate the trenches. Carl Jones Jr., meanwhile, could be an underrated addition on the defensive line. He brings energy, effort, and speed off the edge, exactly what defensive coordinator Eric Washington looks for in rotational rushers. He might not start, but don't be surprised if he's active on game day sooner than later. And then there's Colton Spangler, a young punter who joins the practice squad. That's not a flashy move, but it matters. Special teams have been an overlooked part of Chicago's progress this season. Having competition in the punting room can sharpen performance when field position decides games. At the same time, the Bears officially released wide receiver Miles Boykin. Boykin was a solid depth piece and a strong special teams player, but the team's confidence in young receivers like Odunze and Tyler Scott made him expendable. Boykin's release signals Chicago's commitment to youth and development over veteran placeholders. Now, before we go deeper, if you're a real Bears fan who wants to stay ahead of every update, injury report, and roster move before it hits the headlines, make sure you subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Every week brings a new twist in Chicago's journey, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Alright, back to the field, because all these changes are setting up one very important game. The upcoming clash with the New York Giants is shaping up to be more than just another matchup on the schedule. It's a test of chemistry. When so many roster adjustments happen in a short span, it's about more than skill. It's about communication, unity, and trust. The Bears coaches know this, and the practices this week have reportedly focused heavily on cohesion. Getting new faces like Carlson and Jones Jr. integrated quickly isn't easy, but Chicago's locker room culture has matured a lot this season. That's the under-the-radar storyline. This team isn't panicking anymore. Even with injuries and roster turnover, they're staying grounded. Veterans are taking ownership, rookies are stepping up, and the locker room energy feels focused. The coaching staff's message has been simple: control what you can control. And right now, that means every practice snap, every film session, and every opportunity to prove you belong. Let's talk about the offensive side of the ball, because the Bears' backfield rotation is quietly becoming one of the most intriguing stories in the NFC. Running back DeAndre Swift has been dealing with some wear and tear, and the team is keeping a close eye on his workload. He's still expected to play, but don't be surprised if rookie Kyle Monangai sees more touches this week. Monangai has been impressive in limited action, showing burst, balance, and vision beyond his years. If Swift is limited, Monangai could get his first real chance to showcase what he can do against an aggressive Giants defense. For Chicago, that's exciting. A 1-2 punch with Swift and Monangai gives the offense flexibility, and it fits perfectly with how offensive coordinator Ben Johnson likes to attack defenses. The Bears also continue to battle injuries on the offensive line. The coaching staff has experimented with several combinations to protect quarterback Caleb Williams, and while the group isn't perfect, there's visible improvement. Williams has been taking fewer hits, and the quick pass game is helping him stay upright. One player who deserves credit for that success is DJ Moore. His chemistry with Williams continues to build each week. Moore's reliability as a route runner and his leadership in the receiver room are setting the tone for younger guys like Odunze. Speaking of Odunze, the rookie wideout found himself in an unexpected spotlight this week when comments from his father stirred up social media drama. But instead of fueling the fire, Rome handled it with calm professionalism. He made it clear that his focus remains on football and helping the team win. That's maturity beyond his age, and exactly what Chicago needs right now. Inside Hallis Hall, teammates reportedly rallied around Odunze, praising how he handled everything. That kind of response speaks volumes about the culture shift this team is experiencing. The Bears are learning how to tune out the noise and focus on results, something championship teams always master. Now, heading into their matchup with the Giants, Chicago knows what's at stake. This isn't just another Sunday, it's a measuring stick. Can this roster weather adversity and perform like a playoff team? Can the young stars rise when veterans are down? Those answers will start unfolding soon. The Giants might not look intimidating on paper, but they're a scrappy team that plays with heart. The Bears will have to bring discipline, focus, and aggression from the first snap. Expect the coaching staff to emphasize ball security, time of possession, and situational football, three things that often decide games between evenly matched teams. And above all, this week is about identity. Chicago has shown flashes of being a physical, relentless team. Now they need to prove it consistently. For fans, the message is clear: don't blink. Because this version of the Bears is still forming, and every setback seems to forge them stronger. With rookies maturing, veterans mentoring, and coaches adjusting, this team is slowly building something real. No drama, no panic, just determination. That's what separates this year's Bears from the teams of the past. So as kickoff approaches, remember this: every yard gained, every tackle made, every point scored, it's all part of a bigger mission. The Bears are learning to win the hard way, and it's starting to show. Bear down, Chicago. The road is tough, but the heart of this team is tougher.